It's good to be with you on this edition of Hong Kong Direct, your weekly guide to what's going on in the racing world here in Hong Kong. This is what we've got in store on this show today. We're going to be catching up with Jerry Chau, the newest apprentice to Hong Kong racing, who this week joined Douglas Whyte's stable. Plus, we go behind the binoculars with one of the maestros of the microphone, Tom Wood. Plenty more as well on the show. It's a pleasure to be with you. It's also a pleasure to have Sam Agars from the South China Morning Post as our special guest on the show this week. Thanks for your time, Sam.
Yeah, thank you for having me, Edward. As always, there's plenty happening in Hong Kong racing.
There certainly is. So we come into Saturday racing this week on the back of a significant Wednesday night where the jockey title has changed hands. Zac Purton riding a fabulous five-timer. He's now 4 clear of Joe Moreira.
He certainly is, and he just continues to throw the gauntlet down to the Magic Man. A huge night for Zac. Finish off with a fantastic ride on Dances with Dragon, and Casper and Zac have done a fantastic job with that horse in recent weeks. Certainly.
I think that ride just showed the sort of confidence that Zac has got at the moment. The horse is obviously in great form, but the patience that he showed on him, he didn't panic. A lot of other riders around him were making moves, but he was just happy to settle at the back of the field, take the gap through the middle of the track and get up to win. 5 on the night for him as well.
Yeah, absolutely. And look, it certainly looks like the Jockeys Premiership's going to go down to the wire. People perhaps suggested that Joe might eventually pull away, but Zac's not going to let that happen as far as we can see.
No, Joe's won 3, Zac's won 3, including the last 2 titles. So Zac had a terrific night on Wednesday at Happy Valley. But when you look at the field for Saturday's meeting, Sam, Joe with a full book of rides on a 10-race card, Zac with 7. Can you see things changing a bit there? Could Joe get a couple back on Zac?
Oh, he certainly could. Joe's best form is at Sha Tin, as we know, and I think he's got some very nice rides, Beauty Legacy and the Class 1 being among them, so there's absolutely no reason why he can't once again fight back and keep the stoush going.
Yes, I thought that Far Above was also a good chance for Joe on Saturday's program. There are 2 star jockeys. They're destined to battle out this title right until the very end of the season in the middle of the July part of the year. But we've got a new jockey joining us here in Hong Kong. His name is Jerry Chau. He'll have his first day of race riding on Saturday at Sha Tin. I caught up with him and his master, Douglas Whyte, earlier on this week.
Feel very excited and very happy to come back to Hong Kong. Yep, and today is my first day working with Douglas stable and working with my boss, and feel very enjoy it.
What's it like to be assigned to Douglas Whyte, a legend of Hong Kong racing, as your master here?
Yeah, really happy. He's my master and he got many experience in Hong Kong, and he can teach me a lot.
You've spent the last year riding in Adelaide. You've had quite a bit of success there. Just tell us a bit about your time in South Australia, Jerry.
Yeah, well, 77 winner in there, and it's a very good time and very good training area, and for me, and yeah, really enjoy and really try really hard to riding in there. Yeah.
Have a look at Always the King charging through the rail. Vindex, big call. Always the King. Always the King put on a show at the start, and he put on a show at the end to win.
And Douglas, for you as an apprentice, you came out of the South African Jockey Academy, which is world-renowned for the success that it's had. What are some of the lessons from your apprentice days that you'd like to pass on to Jerry?
I think work ethic. I think, you know, the harder you work, the luckier you get. And I'll teach him a little bit about work ethic and general mannerism. You know, just being on time and not being afraid to work hard. So there's a few things that hopefully I can point Jerry in the right direction. He seems very eager to learn. He's got a lovely style about him. It's only our first day together. He's had 2 go round. He seems to have nice soft hands on horses. But incrementally I'll be able to see more and learn more about him, and hopefully get him on the right path.
Did you watch much of his rides in South Australia?
I did. I did. He's neat on a horse. And what I do like about Jerry's style is they tend to run for him. He doesn't look like he's he's forcing them. It looks like they do want to run for him, and that's a good asset to have.
You've been involved in Hong Kong racing for 24 years. You've seen a lot of apprentices come and go in that time. What does it take to succeed as an apprentice in Hong Kong, do you think?
Well, Hong Kong's a make or break industry. We all know that it's the best racing jurisdiction in the world, in my personal opinion. And you know, I think that if Jerry's afforded the right start and rides accordingly to how I think he can ride, there's no reason why he shouldn't be successful. He's just got to learn how to cope with the pressures of Hong Kong. He's got to learn the work ethic and how to contain himself both mentally and physically. And first and foremost, he's got to enjoy what he's doing, and he's got to enjoy working for our team, and he's got to enjoy his race riding. And once he can get all of that in fine-tuned, he'll be all right.
We wish Jerry all the very best for the start of his Hong Kong career. 77 winners from 544 rides during his time in South Australia, where a lot of the apprentices have been based before returning to Hong Kong. And when you look at his rides for Saturday as well, Sam, 4 rides, but he's got a few chances there.
He certainly has. Relentless Me for Douglas there, buddies for John Moore. All look to be very competitive. And look, when he left South Australia, his former master, Leon McDonald, said it. He labelled it a sad day, so he certainly made an impact down there. And look, there's a chance he can make an impact on his first day back here.
You've spoken to Jerry at the track work this week leading up to his first day of race riding. What sort of vibe did you get from him about how he feels returning to Hong Kong?
Look, he's certainly been thrown in the deep end, but he couldn't be happier to be here and to take up this challenge. He learned a little bit from Ricky Yu before he went away to South Australia about his diet and keeping his weight down and things like that. And by all reports, Douglas is going to ramp that up and make sure he's being accountable. And Jerry just seems like he's really itching to get into it. And as it is for all of these young jockeys that are sent away to train and then come back to ride at Sha Tin's their dream, and he gets to fulfil that on Saturday at Sha Tin. You're
a proud South Australian. He's had a bit of success riding over there. They do get the £10 claim when they come over to Hong Kong, the new apprentices, but it's a different style of racing, isn't it, going from Adelaide to here in Hong Kong?
It certainly is, and that's where Jerry said he's going to learn most from Dougie early on, and I don't know how much you can learn in 4 days, but obviously he's been leaning on him this week, and yeah, he'll just be looking to get out of the gates as quick as he can with that lightweight and try and be right in amongst it come the finish.
And he's got a pretty good mentor and a 13-time champion jockey too in Douglas Whyte.
Yeah, absolutely. Couldn't have asked for a better master than Dougie. And I think we'll see as we progress and things move forward that he'll really start to rub off on him. And Jerry will be given every chance to succeed. And he'll get a couple of months of a taste of it now, and then looking into next season, I think, is when he'll really start to hit his straps.
Yes, it's obviously early days for Douglas in his own training career, but we've already seen him have success in helping out some of the apprentices, like Alfie Chan, who rode a double for him on Champions Day, and even Lyle Hewittson, a young jockey from South Africa. So you can see the signs are there that Douglas has been a good mentor for some of these young and apprentice jockeys coming through the ranks.
There's absolutely no doubt that Dougie really cares about these guys, and he wants to impart on them as much knowledge as he can, and he wants them to succeed. And obviously that'll be doubled down with Jerry joining his stable and riding for him.
Okay, so they're the jockeys. Let's move on to another bit of news regarding the trainers this week. And Sam, a significant milestone for trainer Ricky Yu, and what's been a fantastic season for him this season. 800 wins, he celebrated that on Sunday at Sha Tin, but he was also quick to point out that was just 800 Hong Kong wins. He's had a bit of success overseas as well too.
He certainly has, and only the 6th Hong Kong trainer to reach 800 winners, and he's absolutely airborne, showing no signs of slowing down. Ricky, another double at Happy Valley on Wednesday to go 9 clear in the Trainers Premiership. And I guess everyone's sort of been looking and waiting for him to slow down, but doesn't look like he's going to.
Would you have your money on him taking out his first Trainers title this year?
Certainly looks that way to me. Francis Loy in second position's nearly a month without a winner, and that gap's just widening, so it's really hard to see anyone running him down.
Yes, he's never won a trainer's title, but he's trained some terrific horses. He's won big races overseas, as we mentioned, with the likes of Amber Sky and also Sacred Kingdom and Ultra Fantasy. He looks in the commanding position for the trainer's title in his 25th year as a trainer. I guess ending a bit of dominance that we've seen from the likes of John Size in recent years. It's a different season, really, as far as the trainers are concerned.
Certainly is, and it's nice to have a little bit of a new flavour there. John Size himself has admitted and did admit earlier this season that perhaps he didn't have the cattle to push for the title this year, so no doubt he's going to have plenty up his sleeve, I guess, for next season. But yeah, for now it's Ricky, and hopefully for the spectacle, Francis can push him.
Yeah, that'd be great to see both a jockeys battle, which we're probably going to get to see between Joe Moreira and Zach Purton, also a tight tussle in the trainers' ranks. Time for a break here on Hong Kong Direct. Don't go anywhere, plenty more on the other side of this, but we'll take you to the break, continuing on with the Ricky U theme, and have a look back at one of the memorable moments in his training career with Sacred Kingdom, one of his stars. This is the first of his 2 Hong Kong sprint victories.
International sprint. The crowd gives them a tremendous roar. Away they go. Green Birdie's taken straight back to last. And deep out, Miss Andretti's ridden for speed. So is YB. Sunny Singh, Ben Bourne near the inside, and Royal Delight's going forward. There's plenty of speed. And Shane Dye takes Royal Delight to the front of the first corner. YB circling the field, going to second. Sunny Singh third, Ben Bourne fourth, and Miss Andretti's right with them with Desert Lord. Absolute Champion parks off the speed. Then Scintillation, Sacred Kingdom. He's got horses on his outside. Sunny Power and Teaser improving. Then Marchand Doran, Green Birdie is last, racing to the bend. It's Royal Delight in front from Ben Bourne. Desert Lord's out 3 wide. Miss Andretti's 4 wide, and 5 wide is YB. Sunny Singh behind them. Sacred Kingdom's giving away 4 lengths. It's Royal Delight in front. Absolute Champions coming hard. Now Sacred Kingdom's into the clear. Miss Andretti can't go with them. Sacred Kingdom charges up on the outside. He hits the lead from Royal Delight. Absolute Champion staying on doggedly, but Sacred Kingdom, he is world class. Sacred Kingdom's roaring away to beat Absolute Champion.
Welcome back. It's great to have your company on Hong Kong Direct. Plenty more to come on the show. Sam Agars and myself are going to preview the Amber Handicap, the highest class race coming up at Sha Tin on Saturday afternoon. But if you want a full preview of all 10 races, you can go to the Hong Kong Jockey Club website, hkjc.com. Go to the Multimedia Showcase section and you'll find racing to win there with a race-by-race guide to the card. Before we look at the highlight for Saturday's meeting, though, we're going to take you behind the scenes to the race caller's box at Happy Valley, where for the last couple of years, Tom Wood has been the voice of the Valley.
Hello, I'm Tom Wood, one of the race callers here at the Hong Kong Jockey Club. Welcome to my office on the 8th floor. Best view in the house. I'm an early bird. I like to get here nice and early before the first race. A couple of hours, come in here, sit down, relax in the cool air. Set the stand up, set the binoculars up, make sure you can see everywhere around the track. Nothing's going to hinder the binocular stand or it gets stuck on the windowsill or anything. It's all held there by a good old trusty Fuller's G-clamp. Go through the fields, have a look at any last changes that need to be made, and just prepare everything, get all the paperwork in order for the night ahead. Well, I've got a good pair of Swarovski 15x56s here. I've had them for a number of years now. Wouldn't use anything else. They're brilliant. You can see everything. You can see the jockeys making the decisions around here at Happy Valley when they're about to take off at the 800 metres and climb the hill, especially in those distance races we run here. Beautiful glasses, but everybody likes to have their own versions and what they like using, but these are the ones I like to use. Clear, precise, no real jargon, just keeping things simple, adding a bit of colour, not going over the top, no screaming.
100 to go, Bullish Glory, Gala Knight, Salto Olympico, Good Days, Mr. Monty, great go here, Gala Knight, Bullish Glory, Gala Knight fighting off the canvas and wins.
Happy Valley's a really unique course, quite a long way off the finish line here, which is a challenge within itself, but it's one of those unique challenges that you've just got to take and run with. There's a few tricks and quirks to getting around the line, being so far before it. Here at Happy Valley as well, you get a lot of blanket finishes. Things happen really quickly here. The race can really change over the final stages at Happy Valley.
Lightning Steed and Epta wins out wider. Here comes After Me, and also Methane hammering home. What a slog here. Epta wins has found the front. After Me with Methane right over the top. After Me.
There's been a lot of great callers walk through the commentary boxes here of Happy Valley and Sha Tin, going down through the years. Callers like the great Jim McGrath, David Raphael, he was an outstanding broadcaster. Some of his calls here, horses like Very King Prawn and Silent Witness, they were calls that got the hair standing up on the back of your neck.
Very King Prawn, the horse of Hong Kong, coming after the mare of the world. 150 to go, Sunline's a length in front. Very King Prawn trying to get him. Sunline, the Kiwi pulling out stops. Very King Prawn lifts. They come to the line. Very King Prawn dives, but he missed. Sunline, the mare of the world, wins it from Very King Prawn.
Richard Hoyles was here as well, another terrific caller plying his trade in the UK. More recently as well, Brett Davis, Darren Flindell, they've all been terrific callers, but some of those calls of David Raphael over the years certainly got me hooked into the race calling. I really enjoyed back in January, February, calling the feature races at Sha Tin, calling Golden 60's first two triumphs through the 4-year-old series, the Classic Mile and the Classic Cup. They were certainly a highlight of mine.
More than this Golden 60, he needs an out. He's off heels now, enjoying further out. Private Secretary behind them. Champion's Way inside the 150 metres. Leads here over Golden 60, and more than this. What a battle. Golden 60 goes to the top now. 10 starts, 9 wins. He's a cracker.
Cracker of a call there from Tom Wood for one of the highlights of the season. No doubt the Hong Kong Jockey Club's really been blessed, Sam, to have some of the best in the business call here in Hong Kong. That tradition continues these days with Mark McNamara and also Tom Wood behind the microphone. Have you got a favourite call or caller from your time in Hong Kong?
Look, as you mentioned earlier, I'm from Adelaide and might make me a bit biased, but it's hard to go past Brett Davis for me. He's been the voice of Hong Kong racing for the majority of my time in the city, and yeah, I think he's done a great job.
Certainly, calls with Chautauqua Morris and the like were special, certainly, from Brett, and he's doing a great job now in South Australia. Tom's going to be behind the microphone, though, for Saturday's meeting here at Sha Tin, including for the Amber Handicap, the highest class race for the meeting, where the field is headed by the quirky Beauty Legacy, one of 2 runners in the race for John Size. Good standing's been out of form recently. Decrypt's been around the mark without quite scoring. California Whip also a little bit out of form. Dragon General won 2 starts ago. King Shield's best performances have been on the all-weather track. A couple of interesting newcomers to Hong Kong racing here. An Amazing One Plus and Arrogant. Buddies will be ridden by Jerry Chau. And Transcendent, a horse who won first up in Hong Kong. He's these days now stepping up to Class 1 level pretty quickly on in his time here. Sam, let's start our search for the winner then with Ballistic King, because he is a last start winner. He's a really consistent horse, and he beat the likes of Beauty Legacy and also Decrypt last time out. Can he win again, or could those two turn the tables on him?
I expect those two to probably turn the tables on him, Edward. I think they're the 2 progressive horses in the race. As you said, Beauty Legacy's had his quirks, but was much more relaxed in the run last time, and Decrypt wasn't far behind as well. So for me, it's those 2 in the race that look the top chances.
Okay, as mentioned, a couple of interesting newcomers to Hong Kong racing lining up here. We've got Amazing One Plus from the Danny Hume stable, who was formerly known as Hazapur, raced with Dermot Weldon, won 2 group races in Ireland, and also Arrogant, raced under the same name in New Zealand and Australia, and ran a close second in the Rosehill Guineas behind Boom Colt, the Autumn Sun. What have you made of what they've done?
Look, so Arrogant was brought here for the Derby and suffered bone disease, so that put the brakes on that for Casper Founds, and trolled quietly on Tuesday, and he's here at the races on Saturday. Casper obviously thrilled to have him at the track, and by all reports, if things go well for him on Saturday, he might back him up straight away next weekend in a Class 2 over 1800.
Yes, so maybe further for both horses is required. We just hope that they sort of put in good performances first up, don't we? It doesn't look like they're ready to win just yet. Would that be fair to say?
Absolutely. I think very hard as a debutant coming into Hong Kong to be thrown into a Class 1 with seasoned gallopers going around, so there wouldn't be high expectations on them to win the race. It hopefully can be a good starting point for them as they look to the future.
We spoke about Jerry Chau earlier on in the program. One of his 4 rides is in this race. It's on Buddies. His best might be on the all-weather, Sam, but when you look at he's run a couple of starts ago on the turf, he ran a really game race, narrowly beaten by Seattle Choice. He also ran well in the Hong Kong Classic Mile earlier on in the season. With a lightweight, could he give some cheek here? Yeah,
absolutely. Could only 110 pounds, barrier 4, so he could get his way in front with Jerry aboard, and he's a horse that's shown that he's up for the fight and he's ultra consistent, so there's no reason why he can't give a very good sight.
Yeah, I thought he was one of the better hopes in the race. Is there a roughie there? Could a Dragon General, as we've seen in the past, storm over the top of them, or another relatively new horse like Transcendent, who won first up? Could he figure in it? Is there anything outside the square that you're looking at here?
Transcendent's an interesting one. Obviously, he showed plenty early and seemingly got progressively further away from the mark, but right down in the bottom of the weights, he might be one that can fire a shot on the weekend.
OK, overall though, Sam, who do you think's going to win?
I'm going to stick with Beauty Legacy, despite the difficulties that the horse has had. I think his run last time was very good, and I think he can go one better.
OK, so Beauty Legacy is the selection then. 1400 metres has been his best trip both here in Hong Kong and also when he was winning at Group 2 level in Australia. That's the highest class race on a 10-race card. We've also got a really good sprint race to look forward to. But race 9 on the race we've previewed is due at 5:10 Hong Kong time. Trackside live coverage starts at 12:30. The first is at 1 o'clock. Then we race on Wednesday night. 9 races coming up from Happy Valley before the regular Sunday fixture at Sha Tin the following week, as we count down towards the Champions and Chater Cup coming up a couple of weeks' time. That's all we've got time for, though, here, Sam. All the best for Saturday and then Mother's Day coming up here on Sunday.
Yeah, thank you very much for having me, Edward. Been a pleasure, and hopefully we can find a few winners out at Sha Tin.
Absolutely. We look forward to your company as well on the weekend. Hopefully you can join the trackside team for all of the action. Until then, though, thanks for watching. Bye-bye.